Hello, friends. Finally, we are back. Can you hear me? Just say yes or no in the chat if you can hear me. I'm just setting up the live. I think we are live. All right, let me check myself if I can hear. I'm just setting up the live. I think. Yep, I think we are good. Thank you so much. Yes. Yeah, it's going to be our final chapter on Immortal Talks. It's been almost like more than a year that we've been going through this book. Like I think it's last year May. That's when we started this journey. And thanks to Sirisha for giving me such a great opportunity to express myself through this book on this great channel PMC, Pyramid Meditation Channel USA. It is a mixed feeling. I've grown reading this book spiritually. When I started learning about this book, it is something that I reinvented myself over the years. It was like I think more than 3 to 4 years when I started reading this book. But soon after I started reading this book, I kind of understood a lot of stuff. What I know about Hanuma and what I introduced myself a new Hanuma through this book. So that's how I can say. And also it is same when I look at spirituality, what I know is something that is completely different from what I understood and what I experienced over the years. Spiritually, from this book is completely different. I introduced myself a new one. Spirituality is not that we know of karma, we know about the meditation, we know about how the good karma works and how it is actually singular, and how about the astral travel, like lot of stuff that we know about spirituality. This book just extended what we know, not just in a linear fashion, but there is something parallelly happening. There is something that you can go for the future and you can go for the past. You can go for the timelines. You can actually create the parallel timelines and change the future, change the past, change the current by making few little changes astrally over the timelines. This is something very complicated, but he explained it as simple as possible. This book actually created a lot of simple examples on how actually the shift happens, how actually a person's life can be changed with a little bit of changes. With minute details, this book explains you, this book takes you forward. Even now, we can experience that. When you are reading this book, you can actually experience all this stuff. So, with this, we wanted to welcome the last chapter, the final chapter of Immortal Talks. I'm super glad that we are able to complete this book. If you ever wanted to revisit this book, I would encourage you to go through this series of videos as a playlist that is available in PMC USA with Immortal Talks by Shunya. And of course, like this is just a one perspective of what I know, but there are many more perspectives within this book that I understood. If you read this book, then you'll have your own way of looking at it, your own way of understanding the stuff. All that stuff, you can actually do that. So, with this, I wanted to welcome our viewers, our audience, our masters, our gods, and our friends. Uh, yeah, the final chapter is now here and ready. Yeah, so it is again Hanuma who comes there in the Matang's community. After a short pause for the continuity, he said, the Matangs once again assembled in the whole hemisphere. The space was silent, not the silence of emptiness, but the silence of readiness. Like they wanted to read, they wanted to understand, they wanted to explore what's going to happen. So all that stuff is actually there and here. So Lord Hanma looked at all of them with compassion and said, dear ones, what I am about to narrate is not merely a story, it's a mirror, one that reveals how awareness alone decides whether a soul is saved or shattered. So it's like any soul you can actually simply see and learn. So this time, like he again explains about a soul by taking one more example with a story of a girl named Sulochana. So Sulochana is one more soul, like who's again a disciple of Hanuma. When evil enters on an ordinary phase, the incident took place a few years ago. Sulochana was in her mid-teens when it's like maybe like 15 years when she became attached to a man much older than her. This attachment ended in a brutal assault. She was violated by him and his compassions. When I say evil, do not imagine horns or monstrous, like appearances. But if the evil is something that it could be a mental cruelty. If evil were so easy to recognize, no innocent soul would never be harmed, right? Like all the people, um, there was a saying in Telugu that a goat actually believes a person who sells a non-veg, something like that. Evil actually hides behind normal faces. It blends into daily life. It often appears harmless until it is too late. The man worked as a low wage employee in her school. On the surface, they had nothing in common. So she became from a wealthy family. She came from a wealthy family. He lived hand to mouth, like he's a normal guy. She was young and inexperienced. He was married with children. Their cultures, beliefs, lives were worlds apart. They both are like two different worlds. They came together and married. Then why did she feel drawn to him? To understand this, like how actually a girl believes a wrong person. It's always like that, right? Like even now we have many such instances where girls actually attracts to the boys who are like from a different world. It could be lower or higher, but this always happens. To understand this, we must understand the five bodies that operate within a human being, especially within a teenager. Like teens is something that we all need to take care of. That's the age where they don't listen to parents and they feel like they already have enough common sense to take their decisions on their own, and that is the age where many of the distractions happen in their life. So yeah, that's where it started. It is like five bodies. We need to operate on the five bodies. What are those five bodies? We actually learned these things in the previous chapter. The five bodies and the fragility of adolescence. A human being is not one entity but a compassion of five interacting bodies. The physical body, the intelligence that concerned with survival, future, and correction. Intellect is another body, the seat of likes, dislikes, and an attachment. It is like some people have a career that's part of the intellect. Some people take decisions based on their intellect. And the samskara is another body that we have, that is identity, image, and conditioning. It's like a pattern. Samskara is nothing but a thought pattern, or the way that we behave, everything, the self-image that we carry. Let's say like Arun is there, then Arun has an image. When Arun is present, the events look like something. If Arun is not available, then the event looks like a different thing. So every time whenever your presence is there, someone will define that event, right? So that is what the personality is all about. That is what the image is all about. So it's always like that. Everyone is carrying their image. Without them, the event looks different. With them, the situation looks different. So all that ambience that we created is because of our samskara body. And the last body is Chitta. Chitta is nothing but the inner courage, rebellion, or chaos seeking energy. So it's all about the Chitta is all about our last body that actually defines the entire inner courage. In adolescence, these five bodies are rarely in harmony. They are like not talking to each other. This is the time where we need to think what exactly this body is all about. So it's very important for us to understand that these bodies are not aligned. They are just grown. They're just talking to each other. They are something that the maturity is just forming there, but they do not communicate to each other. They do not have uh, enough transparency within them. They do not believe in between. So, intelligence may sense danger, but intellect desires when it desires. Samskara wants to appear modern, progressive, different. Like they are different. Chitta seeks rebellion, excitement, and chaos. The physical body awakens to new sensation and urges. No, so what happens? So when they are learning, they are uh, just went to a new dimension, and they don't believe each other because they are all like they do not have enough confidence to believe each other. They're just exploring themselves. They're just growing. So one body wants, four bodies pull, and intelligence loses the battle. This imbalance does not automatically lead to disaster. These bodies by nature are not evil. They seek completeness, not destruction. Destruction begins only when suras and asuras enter the picture. So it is always that since they are imbalanced, they carry low energy, they are always dependent on something else, that could be external thing, that could be something. mm, they need some guidance, they need some support, they need some suggestions or support in a way that whatever that challenges them, mm, they seek some approval from outside of their body. So these are the things that suras and asuras were invisible hijackers. They will come. They are the bodily entities, bodiless entities that operate on the bodies. So suras and asuras are always within us, and they are just one thought away. They're just behind us. Like one single thought can actually help them enter into our body and do all that stuff that they wanted to do for us. They possess no physical form or only desire. They are just operates on the desires. Whatever the desire that you create, you carry, that desire is enough for them to come and enter our body and take part of our actions. Suras feed us on all positive emotions, pleasure, pride, virtue, righteousness. But asuras feed on negative emotions, pain, guilt, anger, hatred. So when you are with these thoughts, then these naturally form emotions. Whatever the emotion that you carry, you actually help asura or sura into your body and take part of that experience. Then after they gain that experience, they leave it. So they survive by hijacking human bodies and minds through thoughts. A simple example: you enjoy sweets, this is natural. But if enjoyment turns into addiction, suras are have entered. When addiction harms the body and causes pain, asuras arrive to enjoy the suffering. So pleasure is something like that invites pain, pain seeks pleasure again. So this loop sustains both, like one actually creating another one is actually making it sustain. It's like birth and rebirth, birth and death happens at a time. And Sura actually enjoys this process. Asuras enjoy this process. Anything that comes within with these desires is actually one or the other ways helping asuras and suras to come our body into our body and experience it. And this always like that. The same applies to the guilt. The guilt is naturally prompts correction. When suras hijack guilt, they push humans into extremes. This brings us to the powerful template that shaped Sulochana's life too. So Sulochana, like who took a decision to marry the guy who is completely from a different world, is because of the emotions that she carried because of the thoughts. So it is always important on how you are taking control of your emotions, taking control of your thoughts. When you lost the control, then there is high chances that suras enter your body. The guilt of privilege and moral extremes. Throughout history, I have observed kind hearted individuals born into wealthy families. They often feel guilty not necessarily because wealth was earned wrongly, but simply because it came easily. Renouncing wealth sounds simple, but it is not. So, Suras suggest another path: serve the oppressed, do charity, prove your goodness. So it is you to take decisions, which bodies that you wanted to invite, which bodiless entities that you want to invite, with your actions, with your karma, with your thoughts, with your emotions. At first it feels noble, but suras do everything to extremes. Soon attachment forms, judgment disappears. The oppressed are seen as incapable of wrongdoing. Violence becomes justified. Hatred is redirected elsewhere. So it's, how I can say this, like anything, the action with no attachment on what could be the consequence or what could be the result of the action, or you can actually distribute this action to everyone, to all, distribute to all, like without owning the consequence, makes you stay away from suras or asuras. So if you are attached, if you feel like, hey, if I do this, I'll get this. So to get that, I'm doing this. To get this, I'm doing that. So whenever you do any actions as a result oriented, as a performance oriented, or anything that's coming as an output, yes, there are high chances that you will be inviting suras or asuras into your body. It could be a positive action, it could be a negative action. That's the reason, like many ancient scriptures, like Bhagavad Gita or Patrisar books, suggest us, like if you look at the Bhagavad Gita, they said like you do an action with joy and forget about the result, forget about the consequence. You're not working for the consequences or for the results. You just do it. Take part of the action, leaving the result, leaving the rest. That's when you can stay away from suras and asuras. In the same way, Patri sir, in his books, he suggested to not to take the result onto the personal account, distribute it to everyone. In the 13th guiding principles, the personal guiding principles, he said, like you work and distribute the result to everyone, like everyone did it. It is not just you. So this extreme virtue, like when, if you don't do this, what happens? This is when Asura center to fest on the resulting negativity. Extreme virtue on one side, extreme hatred on the other. So anything that includes extremism will definitely include suras or asuras. Even for the positive action, if you are extremely going there towards the extremism, then there is high chances that suras will enter your body and they'll take the control of your actions. And they both are illusions. Okay. The Sulochana is was caught with this very pattern. So she began to believe that all the poor people were saints and all privileged people were corrupt, including her own family. Yeah, this is again like most of us are into this thing. It is like if someone earn the money, if someone is rich, then there are high chances that people think that they must have done something wrong to get there. They must have been something like corrupt, something like they are not good. And all the poor people who are like whose life is miserable naturally are good, naturally like saints. So this kind of feeling is there for most of the people. But her intellect became obsessive. Her samskara clung to a borrowed image of possessiveness. Her intelligence was drowned out. Only her chitta remained pure, bold, and rebellious, but not malicious. So it is naturally that poor people are good. It is naturally her intelligence says that the rich people are bad. The rich people must have been done something, some corruptive things. That's the reason they are like that. So this very own mindset that everyone is carrying, when it goes to extreme, then you take these kind of decisions. Awareness, the only door for divine help. So this is when you need to be aware. God do not intellect, um, do not interfere actually. Do not interfere on these things. He just allow like what you want to do, you just do it. They can act only through awareness, either yours or someone connected to you. Uh, and all those like someone connected to you, they will always warn you. Her mother felt unease the day before the incident. A teacher tried to keep her back at school, but awareness was insufficient. When awareness is absent, even divine warnings dissolve into noise. Remember this, God only as powerful as your awareness allows them to be. If you are not aware, and there are high chances that you take decisions blindly with no awareness, even any warning from the God, any warning from your friend. No, warning does not directly come from the God, like he appears like Lord Krishna, Lord Hanuman. No, that is not how the warnings happen. They will happen to you through your close friend. Maybe something that you are watching on the video. It could be something like a text message from someone in some group. These are how the warnings from the God will come. But you should be intelligent enough to wire them up to your current reality. That's where your awareness comes. If you're not intelligent enough to rewire yourself from the suggestions around you through the messages, if it is not strongly happening, then we are not in the mood of listening, not in the mood of awareness. So after math, what happens when the soul rejects the character? So after the assault, like Sulochana falls into coma. Like once she's into the married life, then she started coming back to the reality. And her soul developed a rare condition. It was repulsed by its own character. It neither wished to live nor to leave. To heal her, an advanced soul named Durga entered her body temporarily. Durga succeeded in bringing Sulochana back to consciousness. But in the process, Durga lost her awareness. She forgot she was a helper soul. She became Sulochana. Two souls now fought for one body. The suffering was unimaginable. Doctors could not help. Healers guessed blindly. Nothing worked because the problem was not mental, it was existential. Like sometimes this is very real for everyone. So everyone who's actually into the body, the moment they enter the body, the soul, whatever the soul it could be a super soul, it could be the higher soul. But the moment it entered the body, it it will lose its consciousness, it will lose its originality and become the character. That's the beauty of this world, this earth planet, the earth plane. Earth plane makes you to be part of the illusion, to be part of this worldly matter. So that's when the awareness should come. So it is like a soul once entered into the body, it becomes the character. There is no more soul there. And all the actions that it want to take can be done only through the soul, through the body, sorry. If it want to take any actions, any results, it can only happen through the body. Naturally, it forms an attachment. Naturally, it creates karma. Naturally, it creates a lot of consequences, a lot of result oriented things. And naturally, it is attached to the desires of the character. So when you have two souls fighting for the same body, naturally it creates conflicts within the character. Not sure like which decisions that it needs to execute within the body. The body, it has two souls, and each soul carries two different things. One is wanted to escape, the other one want to heal. So every time that you want to take a decision, if you are in a confused state, it could be because of these two things. The wandering and the question of identity. So the monk which entered that body, right? Um, now that's when Hanuma actually entered. Is a supreme soul which then entered as a wandering monk through silence, dreams, carefully planted doubt. I led Durga to question, who am I? No, planting the thoughts is also very important. That is what these supreme souls actually do. Like sometimes you feel like getting messages, but not like reading it as a text, or you are not listening as a third person is saying, right? Most of the time, these souls actually implant a thought within you and creates an urge to find an answer for these kind of thoughts through dreams, scenes. Through dreams, he created scenes. Sharmila, camel carts, broken swings. I revealed the truth. She started realizing that there is something truth within Durga. So the moment Durga entered into the body of Sulochana, she started feeling the character of Sulochana and not able to come out of it. Forgot about her identity of being the super soul as Durga. So Hanuma is trying to help Durga to be Durga. So every reality feels continuous while you are inside it. Continuity is not real, it is memory and imagination playing together in the present moment like parallel routes, each complete yet disconnected. So this is something very unreal for us as a linear dimensional souls. or a linear dimension life, we feel like this is the only reality possible for us. Like one moment to the other moment is a continuity, but it is not. You can actually leave this body, enter the body. The character starts playing. And this is very real, friends. I see many such cases where your body tend to feel many souls. A soul can come, enjoy the bodily events, and soul can live. And the character gets played naturally. When any super soul wanted to play such that character for that particular instant, there are high chances that they can come and execute and leave. So your body will become like a rental place for the super souls when you are deep enough in understanding and executing, and your body supports the super souls. There are like a lot of channeling things happen only through this. Whenever a channeling is happening, what does it mean? A super soul entering a body, using that body and producing some words or actions, or it could live the character. All these things happens how? Because it is living the character for some time, but completely aware that it is just renting. But when you lose the awareness, that's when the problem occur. When you lose the awareness and the character starts driving you, then you'll be again like losing your awareness. So in order to make yourself positive and feel liberated, one must be aware. So in the same way, Durga is also like he's trying to help Durga to be to come out of it, to regain awareness. So he again started like liberation without disruption. When Durga regained awareness, she let go. At the same moment, Sulochana's soul returned. So it is like Hanuma helped Durga to regain her consciousness by implanting the thoughts, by implanting some scenes within the dream, and just create some scenes so that Durga is aware that she is in Sulochana's body, and she is having her own set of life. She could be liberated. She is a liberated soul naturally, and she is in the Sulochana's body just to make Sulochana's life better than what it is before. So, in order to make Sulochana's life better, she became miserable by attached to the Sulochana's character. Now it is Hanuma's time to get her out, and he was able to make it successfully. And now Durga is completely aware that she is Durga, and she just came out like after realizing that this is all happening as I was trying to help Sulochana's body, right? So now, like once she is out, Sulochana is back with the life that Durga actually made for her to be better, and she made Sulochana's life better. And then, like, no tremor, no visible change, no break in the conversation, like all these things, right? All these things they just happen with no real transformation that you can see physically. Okay. um, so whenever these kind of things happen, right, like when someone enters, someone leave, They just happen naturally. You cannot see them, you cannot sense them at all. The world will not be in the pause like while this is happening. Just like how Bhagavad Gita happened. In reality, in Mahabharata, Bhagavad Gita happened naturally, and don't even aware of it. They don't even know about it. How it actually happened. It happened in a split second in reality, but it was a lengthy conversations between them in a timeless state. For everyone else, there is no change. There is no break in the conversation. It just continued, the continuity. Because continuity is an illusion. So continuity itself is an illusion. You feel like continued. Soon after this session, I go and sleep, or tomorrow I go to office. But in this period, there's a lot can happen. But as a physical body, you cannot sense them. But if you feel like you are a soul, a lot could happen in the night. You could replace a complete life to a different thing in just one single night, in one single meditation. It could be in a split second of meditation, and don't even care about meditation. It just happens if it really wants to happen. Okay. Then, after this happened, Sulochana healed. The rituals that followed were merely stabilizers, not causes. So everything is perfect. And then Lord Hanuma looked at all the matangs and said, uh, it's like awareness is the only protection. As long as you are aware, you are fine. But once you went into any extremism, any kind of hasty decisions or the sudden decisions, or with the fear, or with some overthinking of a distant future, and you take some extreme decisions, is because of the suras and asuras enter your body, and you lose control of your thoughts or patterns or emotions. So all these things happen only because you are not aware. Your awareness is gone. You are unprotected now. Next, the second thing is identity. We always carry that identity. You are for me, Arun is my identity. Arun is our image. So, as Arun, you should not do this. You must do this. You must always crack jokes. You must always be active working. As Arun, you cannot be shy. As Arun, you cannot cry. As Arun, you cannot sit alone. As Arun, you cannot do meditation. As Arun, you always need to do meditation. As Arun, you always need to wear clothes, or clothes like this. As Arun, you must always smile. As Arun, you cannot uh, hide yourself. All these things, if you define 10 to 20 of what Arun does, is what Arun's image. It should come out of that boundary. There is no Arun at all. Who is Arun? It's nowhere. You can do anything. What Arun does in the past, you could do something different right the next day. You remove your identity completely. If Arun is running yesterday, stop running. Do something else today. Kill the identity each and every time when you were able to create an image for yourself. The more you create or kill the identities that you created in the past, the more you'll be aware, and the more you are detached to the character. And the continuity is an illusion. The next moment, it could be something else. It's okay to have something else in your life. It's okay to push your boundaries, or it's okay to create some boundaries. It's okay to be limitless. It's okay to be in the limit. It's okay to be laughing. It's okay to be sad. It's okay. The next moment will not be just like how it was yesterday. It's okay to have something different for tomorrow. It's okay to leave this body. It's okay to enter into another body. It's okay to have a different life. It's okay to have the same life. It's okay to be joyful. It's okay to be sorrow. So the continuity, whatever the continuity that you are desiring for, is an illusion. A liberation begins the moment you truly ask about who am I? What am I? So when you don't ask this question until you feel like you are identified with, until you feel like you are identified with something, or you do not have a question like who am I within you, then like you're still not in a mode of liberation. But this time, the silence again returned from Hanuma, and that is what is much deeper this time. Like he's with this conclusion, he became silent, and slowly he went deeper, 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 and disappeared from the Matang's community. With this, the chapter 12 of continuity is completed. With this, we completed our Immortal Talks 2 book, and we learned a lot how Hanuma helped the Matang's community, and how Hanuma helped all these souls to be aware, to switch back to different layers of their karma from different lives, different incarnations, how he is supporting us. Everything is something that we learn, we explore, we grow through these identities. And once we remove all these identities, once we are out of all these illusions of continuity, you'll be one step closer to the reality of being liberated. So liberation is nothing but freedom, as if whatever you want to do, you just do. You want to be in the soul, it's okay to be in the soul. If you want to leave the body or leave the body, it's again like it has to be done in a liberated way. Anything is fine, anything is okay. Being there, not being there is all fine. So when you are into this kind of thought pattern or the emotion with no emotion, this is when you feel like liberated. So with this, my dear friends, I wanted to conclude that live that kind of liberated life, from being there to not being there, from being joyful to being sorrow, from being sorrow to sad, sad to happy, happy to be bliss, ecstasy. No, everything is okay. There is nothing called not growing. Every time you are taking an action or taking a reaction or response or anything is part of your soul growth. sort of your experience, sort of your evolution. So all are fine, totally fine. With this, my dear friends, I wanted to conclude, and thanks for joining me here. Myself, Arun Alladurgam from Atlanta, Georgia, and signing off to PMC USA for this episode. See you again next time with another book, maybe. Um, yeah, with this, like I wanted to uh, a bit adieu for this Immortal Talks book, and thank you so much for joining me all the time, supporting me in all the actions that I took. Thank you again for Sirisha Kodeboina madam from Dallas for giving me an opportunity to talk about it. I really love talking about it. I always feel glad and always feel like proud of myself for sharing this such a wonderful book in front of you all. This is something new to me, something that I haven't done before, but it's really challenging for me to be like this. Thank you for everything. Thanks for this spiritual journey, sharing with you all. Thank you. Bye.